Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my January and December favorites. I did a end of year favorites video instead of my December favorites, so the stuff I was loving for that month I'm combining into this month as well. It's going to just be called my January favorites, but it is combining both months all together. Anyway, I do just want to quickly apologise for the lighting if it is too bright. I do have my camera set to the automatic recording setting, so it'll take the background and the lighting and stuff, but in the viewfinder it still looks like it's slightly too pale. It's just an extremely bright overcast day, so if I close the blinds though, it's not bright enough, so I do apologise. Anyway, I have a lot of things here to show you guys. Go grab a snack, a drink, get comfortable, sit down with your favourite blanket, and let's just jump straight into it. I have a few things here that I love, and I also have a few things here that I was not overly impressed with. So if you want to see what those are, I'll go through the not so impressive ones first, just to get them out of the way very quickly. First one is actually a primer, and it is the Australis Colour Click Colour Correcting Primer. This is the green one, obviously. I bought this to use as a green colour correcting primer because I love my colour correcting concealer from Popfeel and I love Australis. So when they released this, I was like, yes, 100%, I'm going to buy it, and I did when they had their 50% off sale, and I am severely disappointed in this. It's a nice formula as to where it's almost like a smoothing silicone primer in a It doesn't look like it's not a silicone primer, but it almost feels like it on your face, just not as greasy. Like, it just looks like a cream, but which is good. But when I use this, it is not that color correcting. It's got a bright green tint to it, but it really does not cancel out any redness in my face whatsoever. It just makes my face look a lot more pale than the rest of my body, but it doesn't actually hide my redness at all. The redness on my cheeks and all my scars and my chin still completely come through. And it's just a really weird texture on my skin in particular. It almost makes my skin look and feel really dry. Like I've just washed my face 3 days ago and I've been left with a real dry, oily residue. That's what it feels like. And when I put it on, put foundation over the top of this, it emphasizes all texture. So I have to say I flat out don't like this. I am going to continue to use it though, but I just won't repurchase it. This is another product I flat out don't like, and this is the Designer Brands 30-second dry nail base coat. I bought this because I was at the chemist one day and in need of one of these, in need of a base coat, and this was for $8, and it's 15.5 mils, so I thought you get a lot of product, it's $8, Designer Brands is cruelty free and it's vegan, so I thought it would be good. But this is probably the worst base coat I've ever tried. It does dry in 30 seconds, which is pretty much the only thing I like about it. I think it is just it's too much of a thin formula to be a real base coat, if that makes sense. It's just like a clear nail polish that dries quickly. My Maybelline base coat was sort of thicker, and when I put it on, it sort of stopped my nails from being as damaged. It really kept my nail polish on, and it helped my nail polish dry quicker. This just doesn't do anything like that. I find it makes my nails go really brittle and yellow. It really emphasizes the gross texture of my nails. It makes my nail polish chip so easily. I tried it on one hand without the base coat, so I just put nail polish on this hand, and on my right hand I used the base coat, and the hand I had the base coat on, it completely chipped off way too quick. So I think this is just too much of a thin formula to really have the polish adhere to it. It makes it chip so easy, and I just really don't like it, because if I paint my nails, I want them to last. This I am on the fence about. I put a Instagram post of this, obviously, on my Instagram. This is the e.l.f. The mineral volumizing mascara, and I do really like it. I love the way it makes my lashes look. However, it's a really, really natural looking mascara. So if you have eyeliner on like mine, which is fairly thick, you basically can't tell you got mascara on at all. It does hold a curl, and it's a very nice, like it's perfect formula in terms of consistency. It's really nice, like it's not too runny as to where it feels like it's not going to set, but it's not too thick where it feels really dry. And another thing is all of the pictures on the packaging shows the brush is straight and mine is bent. So I have absolutely no idea what the heck happened to mine, but mine is bent. It's okay because I can grip my lashes with it, but it's also a huge brush, and because it is bent, I find I am always hitting my lid. I don't know if you can see if it's worn off a bit, but I'm always hitting my lid with the freaking brush of this. I will have my eyeshadow looking and eyeliner looking perfect, and then I can ruin my whole eye look with this. It'll get all over my lid. I can't use it on my lower lashes because it is just way too big. The brush is way too big. So yeah, it's a really nice formula. I think the brush sort of ruins it for me because it's bent, which it shouldn't be, and it's too big. I think if it was straight it would be a little bit easier, but I just think the brush is too big. And I have my last product here that I sort of don't, it's not that I don't like, it's just this one is not my favorite anymore. It is the Australis Fresh and Flawless Face Powder. Now if you guys have been following me, I'd say for at least 18 months to 1 year, you guys know this was, even at the beginning of the year, of 2017, this was my all-time favorite powder. I don't know how many of these I went through, but I don't like it anymore. This one's in the color light beige, which is what I use, and it pretty much matches me perfectly. It does make my foundation look a little bit darker, but can't help that. Really, in real life, you can't tell the difference. It's only once I get on my camera and things like that you can tell the difference. But I don't like this as much anymore. It adds coverage and really sets my foundation and makes my foundation stay in place a lot longer. But I just get such a thick, powdery look on my face. Like down the sides here, it emphasizes all the little hairs on my face. There's a mirror on the back of this, by the way. It just emphasizes all the hairs on my face. It really clumps up in the sides of my nose, and it really just gives me a very dry textured look on my skin now. And I've tried that with multiple different brushes. It's not just the big e.l.f. brush I use. I've tried it with my Real Techniques powder brush. I've tried it with several others, and I'm pretty sure it's just this powder. So, and it's no matter what foundation I use it with. I will pretty much only keep this to use in the future with like a lot more dewy foundations because it really sets it. But things like Maybelline Matte and Poreless, Estee Lauder Double Wear, I cannot wear this on because it just emphasizes texture, and it almost makes my foundation look really heavy and cakey when it isn't. Okay, so that is the products I didn't like. Now I have so many that I have loved, and buckle in, there's a lot. So I actually have 2 candles here. Like, how long has it been since I've ever mentioned, have I ever mentioned a candle on my channel? I don't know. But since I've had my nose fixed, I am able to burn things like candles and scented oil stuff. There's a massive crow outside my window, sorry. I'm able to actually burn scented stuff as opposed to just smell it. So this is the candle my cousin gave me for Christmas. This is the Ikoya Botanicals one. I'm pretty sure this one is Midnight Orchid, and it smells amazing. I was burning it earlier, and it just has the most light, floral, like happy floral fragrance. It's not too strong as to where it just makes the room smell like garbage. It just smells really, really nice. So if I want a very feminine light scent, this is the candle I will light. I keep this one on my desk, just in front of me. I actually keep it on the stand in between my makeup brushes, pardon me. But when I actually light it, I actually have this coaster. My mum got a cat set years and years ago, and this is a really thick, sturdy coaster. That crow outside is looking at me. But I will sit this on my desk. Normally if I have a drink or something I will put this on it, but I'll sit that on the desk, and the lid that comes on the candle, I will sit that on there as well. So I will have it here, and then I will put the candle on top as well, just to stop my desk from falling apart and burning. But this is a beautiful candle, and I looked online and they're like $40. So thank you, Brooke, if you are watching this. Thank you so much. I absolutely love it. Now this candle is one that I chose for myself. This is from Pure Wick, which I'm pretty sure is the Aldi version of Airwick. Opulent scented candle, soy wax candle. Isn't the packaging just amazing? But I bought this from Aldi, and this is in this scent Caramel Cheesecake, and it's amazing. This was also in my haul video, but it's got a 3-wick on it, and it smells amazing. It just makes the room smell like a freaking bakery. It is light as well. It's not going to be just extremely overpowering. The tin's really nice, so once I'm finished burning the candle, I am definitely keeping this tin. And yeah, approximately 28 hours burn time. Oh, what else is this? Always burn candles in a safe place, away from flammable materials. Do not burn for more than 2 hours at a time. Never leave unattended, blah, 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 blah. But they had other scents in this. I didn't even bother to look at what the other scents were because I picked this one up and I was like, I love it. $10 for this candle, and it burns really well. The only thing is I think that the wicks will be burned before the wax is done. So it's okay, even if in the end I melt the wax down, I buy some more wicks and I'll put them even in this container. It's fine, I'll figure something out, but I love the smell of that. I have a sample here of the Lush Pink Peppermint Foot Lotion, obviously from Lush, and I am absolutely in love with this. This is just a sample, but I've only used it for like 5 days, but I'm in love. It smells incredible. It smells like peppermint, obviously, but it's not like super pepperminty, if that makes sense. It's almost like a mint choc chip, and it's neon pink. It looks like this, and I actually really like this. I was a little bit skeptical about it working for me because it is a really thin formula, and usually for me, for foot creams, I really like a super thick, heavy formula, but this is actually amazing. I find it really hydrates my feet, doesn't leave a disgusting residue. Because it's a thin formula, it just soaks in really quickly, so I can use it multiple times a day. I don't have to put socks on. It just has worked really well for my feet. I'm going to buy a full size because I think it is totally worth it. I find that this actually, I was told by the girl from Lush that this actually will help with bruising. I've got so many bruises on my legs, I have no idea why. I wake up with them, and this has helped with bruising. It's helped with the bruising on my foot from when I broke it. And it's just absolutely amazing. I think this is one of the best foot creams I've ever tried. I had this perfume for absolutely ages, but I never really thought much of it, and it's the Vera Wang Rock Princess. Now, I bought this with some of my money I got for Christmas in 2016. My dad gave me, obviously, money, and I bought this with some of it. And this has quickly become my favorite perfume. Like, I like this more than my Calvin Klein Eternity Now. It's just really light. It's really melony, so it's got that nice fruity zing to it. It's not overpowering, and it's just really nice. So I've been loving spraying this on me a lot more than my Calvin Klein perfume, which says something. If I like another perfume more than that one, it's got to be damn amazing. So, and it's still like right up the top, but I've used it so much. This is the full size. I love the Vera Wang perfumes. I think this is the first Christmas in like 4 years I haven't bought one, but I'm totally in love with it, and it smells amazing. One of my other favorites is a bath bomb from Lush, and this is the packaging it was in. It was Butterball. I lately have been struggling with like really dry skin, which is odd considering it's the middle of summer and I don't have dry skin. So I bought one of these to use in my bath as the cocoa butter to try and really soften my skin, and it really made a difference. It smells amazing. It turns the water a really gross like brown color, but I really love this. I did put up an Instagram post the other day of me using this with the Sephora Vanilla Shower Gel and Moisturizer, so I obviously really love it. If it gets on my Instagram, you guys know it's a favorite, but the Butterball one is something I pretty much always buy if I go to Lush because it's a cheap one. It's a small one, so I know I don't have to bother trying to cut it in half, and I know it just works, so I really like it. Once I got out of the bath, I rubbed, like, because the cocoa butter leaves like a weird film on your skin, but I rubbed it in, and then once that soaked in, I put some moisturizer on, and I felt so much more hydrated than I have in months. It was amazing. I tried a new makeup remover. This one's from December, and it is the Simple Sensitive Kind to Skin Dual Effect Eye Makeup Remover. This is the one that's got the oil and the water, so you do have to shake it in order to combine them, but this is actually my favorite liquid like eye makeup remover I've ever tried. I know I used to mention that the Maybelline one was amazing, but I think this one actually works even more. I hated the oil and water mixed ones, which is why I liked the Maybelline one, because it was just like, it was an oil and water one, but once you used it, it was not oily at all. This is, but I find it just melts everything off so much better. And the oil in this too, I find really hydrates my eye area, which I find that the micellar waters were drying my eyes out. Even my actual eyes have been really dry the past few months, and since I started using this, it has stopped. So I will use it today because I'm wearing eyeliner, but if I just have some eyeshadow and mascara on, I'll go in with my Purity. But the reason why I started using this as well is because I have been using my Purity wash instead of just using micellar water. I found that going back to the old school makeup remover and like face wash type of thing works so much better. My skin's been so much more hydrated and amazing and clearer. And I find that the oil in this really hydrates around my eyes, but this melts off every inch of makeup. So what I'll do is I'll put some on a cotton pad, I'll use it on my eye area and my brow, and then whatever's left over, if I have enough on the cotton pad, I will just gently rub some of my foundation off just to get some of the real surface parts of it off, and then I'll do the same thing for the other side of my face. This melts anything, so if I even was in a rush and needed to use this on my face, I can. I do obviously need to wash my face after I use this because of the oily residue, but again, I said this melts everything off. It's incredibly gentle. I don't even need to wipe my eye area at all. It just dissolves it all. Go-to lip combo this month has actually been this Aldi lipstick. It does have a lipstick on one end, which is a real brown color, but I really only use this in the winter. But the other side has got this lip balm, and it is actually like really opaque, and it's like the perfect skin tone. Yes, this one did come brownered because it's just a lip balm. The whole point of this is to use the lip balm on your lips and then put the lipstick just like on the outer corners to create like an ombre look. This lipstick is one of my all-time favorite formulas, but the lip balm is super hydrating, but it's really pigmented. So I will use this as my like lip balm and lipstick. And then over the top, I'll put either one of these two glosses. These are the Savvy by Designer Brands glossy glosses. These are just like really small sets. I bought the set for like $6. Now, depending on what type of tone I want to go for, I'll either use the more pink tone or the more beigey neutral one. So the beigey neutral one is actually the one I use the most, and it's called Paris. And it's just a really nice like pale nude gloss. It's perfect, honestly, for what I like. And if I want the slightly darker color, this one is called Rome. Now these are really pigmented, they're really glossy, they're not sticky in any way. I find these are almost exactly the same as the NYX Butter Glosses, but even slightly more pigmented. So they're slightly in between the intense butter glosses and the normal ones, where they're really pigmented. Like I could use this on its own with no lip liner or lipstick or anything, and I would have a full nude lip. But the colours are pale enough that they're really nice for me to have a pale nude lip. I find that a lot of them have a really bold pale, like nude lip, where it will be super pale in someone else. But I even like mixing them together. They're really nice formula, but that's actually been my go-to combo lately. I tried my Maybelline Fit Me concealer underneath my eyes, and I've tried a few other of my concealers underneath my eyes, and it's just made me realise how much I absolutely love my Focallure Big Cover Concealer. Now this one is in shade 1. Warm Ivory, and I actually did purchase another Warm Ivory, and I also purchased the darkest shade, which I think is called Warm Beige. So I can use that when I am more tanned, because this is super pale. So when I do have my self tanner on, this is a no-go. It's like white underneath my eyes. So I purchased the darker shade, and if I'm in the middle I can mix the two. I'm wearing this right now and it's just made me realize how much coverage this actually has, and I can't even really stand any of my other concealers underneath my eyes now, just because this has got so much extra coverage compared to the others that I don't even like any of my others anymore. I basically just use this. Highlight I've been obsessed with is my Anastasia Starlight highlighter. I just bought this out of my drawer one day because I realized I hadn't used it in a while, and I started using it again. Now I'm super sorry if the lighting is really crap, but I love this. It's amazing. I obviously, as you can tell, have used quite a bit with the nice dent in the middle, but I actually use this really fluffy big eyeshadow brush as my highlighting brush because this is way too big for me to use on my eyes. I thought my Real Techniques crease brush was too big, and then I got this, but this is literally way too big. The only thing I would use this for is to set my eye primer, and I already have a brush for that. So I use this for highlight, and I just dip my brush in and I just drag it on my cheekbones. It adds some glow, and I put it on my nose and my Cupid's bow. Sometimes I put it on my chin as well, and this brush is amazing for highlight as well, so this is another favorite. But I just absolutely love this. I bought it because it was one of the only pale highlighters at the time, but I think it just adds a perfect glow to the skin. It looks really nice, doesn't emphasize the texture. I've had it for ages, so it's like rubbed off and looks gross, but it's an old favorite. One of my all-time favorite foundation combos that actually lasted so long was the Estee Lauder Double Wear mixed with my Maybelline Matte and Poreless. Now I did mention in another video maybe that I liked the Maybelline one mixed with my L'Oreal foundation more, but I tried this the other day because I knew this would make this one last a lot longer. But this is too dark for me. So what I did was, at my friend's party the other day, I mixed them together. I was super flawless. It looked really skin-like. It looked amazing. And then I got really drunk and actually ended up falling asleep with my makeup still on. But the next morning when I got up, I was really oily on my nose and my chin. My forehead basically wasn't oily at all, but my foundation was still on. Like, I was really oily to the point where I don't even think I would have needed makeup remover to get my foundation off my nose. I think it just would have wiped off on its own, but it was still on. And I think if I had been able to blot and powder, I would have even been able to go out the next day and still look somewhat presentable. So this combo stood the test of time. It stood everything, and it was just a really hot night as well. So the fact that I was oily was probably more from sweat than actual oil, but this really lasted. Amazing. One of my all-time favorite combinations for a bath in the summer is the Lush Avo Bath. Because this is so big and our bath is so small, I cut this in half, but I use half an Avo Bath with the Original Source Mint Shower Gel. I use this as a bubble bath and as a shower gel, and it is one of the best, like, cooling, healing combos you can use in the summer. So this, like, obviously, as I've mentioned hundreds of times before, keeps you really cool. It's really refreshing, and it's really nice. But I find if you mix it in with the like some of the Avo Bath in a coolish bath, it really just heightens that and makes it so much better. It not only does it smell amazing, the bath goes like this color, but it's really hydrating on the skin. At the same time, it's really cooling. So if you're sunburnt, it's going to be great. If you've just got drier skin, it's really nice, and it smells great. This is one of my all-time favorites. That was my favorites and not so favorites for December and January. There was, honestly, lately has not been many things I don't like because I haven't been buying as many new products. I just keep buying things that I like instead of wasting money on trying new things. But I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Please leave me a comment down below on what your absolute favorite product was for the month of January. And while you're down there, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!